this guy, meaning the virtuoso, was so haunted, that he never felt that way about reading a script before, and he wanted to try to capture that on screen.
Hi, Nick.
Hi, good morning. Nice to see you.
Good morning. Nice to see you too. Thank you so much for your time. It's a pleasure to talk to you and to talk about Virtuoso, which I like it a lot. I thought it was a little different from other movies about hitmen going after another hitman. So I love that.
Great, thanks a lot. And I appreciate that, because it's not your typical action hitman movie. And that's important that we get that out to the audience.
So I want to start you co-wrote the script as well. So I would like to know the inspiration to tell the story the way that you guys did.
Okay, the Virtuoso was actually a kind of a follow-up to my previous movie, which was called Good Day for It, which was similar setting. In that movie, a good man does one bad thing and has to pay for it, but comes back to his small town. And fate intervenes, and he runs into the bad guys in this little diner. And I always wondered what would have happened if that lead character is actually a bad man, and twists it a little bit. So I called my same co-writer, James Wolfe, and I told him, let's just do a little different take of that same kind of setup, because I love those old-fashioned ticking clock thrillers. You put everybody in a room, or you put the deadline, and we all know 5 o'clock's coming and something's going to happen. Only in this movie, as you said at the beginning, nothing happens at 5 o'clock. Things get, delayed, and we wonder where we're going to go. So then James wrote the first draft and sent it back to me. And then as a director, I always like to do my own polishes, and including adding the cemetery scene in the first act with Anthony Hopkins and Anson Mount, because that wasn't in the original script, but we felt that the two of them needed to have a better explanation of how deeply connected they were, so that was the inspiration, how it came about.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. And I also like the title, which is the Virtuoso. First, when I read it, I was like, oh, maybe he has a lot of virtue accumulated. But I know that is related to music, Virtuoso. Right. But I really liked it. Why you decide to pick this title?
It's because of what you just said. The whole movie's about misdirection. Who's really good, who's bad, or whatever. So, like you, when I think of the virtuoso, I think of a concert pianist or a violin master or something. So I thought that, and I never wanted to have anybody have a character name. So I just started with the fact that he's the best assassin, that's ever been. So what would you call him? And I'm like, he's a virtuoso. He's a virtuoso of death and murder. And then we use that in the music, if you now can tell, because the Blair brothers did a great job with all strings, and especially a viola and a cello, which were very important. And I always kind of relate that to a virtuoso or Carnegie Hall or some of the great, opera houses and all. So it was on purpose, and I'm glad, because some people have to think about even what that means.
Yeah. Also, I think the cast is amazing, but let's first talk about Anthony Hopkins. Why do you think he decided to do this movie? Why the movie was so appealing to him, and that he decided to be part of?
You wonder, how this little independent movie got through to him, but his agency was the same that Anson is at, United Talent Agency, and they were very nice and very kind to the script. They liked that a lot. And so I was asking Anson's agent and the guy covering us, which one of their older actors on their roster might be interested in something, because I said, I don't want to waste your time. You don't want to waste my time. And they took a few days, and then they came back and said, it's been known that for the right material, because he really likes independent stuff, that Anthony, and I was like, no, that's too high for me. But they were like, well, we could try. So of course, how could you not try? And so then I got, I waited a couple months, but then his agent called, and then he put me on the phone with Tony. And I think the key was that cemetery scene. He knew a couple people that had been in Vietnam, and he was always fascinated by guilt and remorse. And I believe that's the real thing that he latched in on. And so, yeah, I was deeply grateful that he liked it so much he agreed to be in the movie.
Yeah, I think he was great. Actually, everything that he does it's very difficult to say, oh no, I didn't like that, but I think he was great. And then he brings so much to the story as well, and as much as Anson, and I think he's also perfect. But what was about him in his previous work that got your attention to pick him to be the perfect protagonist?
Well, I had actually met Anson 10 years prior to this in New York on a different project that I didn't shoot yet. We're going to shoot next year, finally. So I knew him from a little movie he had done called Tully before that. But then when I met him, I got to talk to him, and I saw that he was theater trained actor, very serious, but very also down to earth, and East Coast base. He grew up in Tennessee, so a very normal person, right? And then I was a big fan of his Western series called Hell on Wheels that was on AMC for years. And when we got this script, I thought of him because, that's a tough part when it's not an action hero in the Virtuoso. So you needed somebody that people would recognize, but people wouldn't immediately think one way or the other. And I thought he was great. And then, of course, now that he's got his Star Trek series, it's even better for all of us. But he's a really good movie star. And I hope that this helps him on the big screen. Oh,
that's for sure. Abby is also amazing. I think she's so beautiful. She has something about her that her on the screen. She calls us like to come and watch me because I don't know. I really like her too, and she's great on the movie.
No, I had seen her in A Good Year, the Ridley Scott movie, and I didn't even know she was Australian at that time, because she was playing an American, and then I had to look her up, and then I saw her in Bright Star, the Jane Campion movie, and you're correct, she just radiates that, and you needed that little piece of what I would call the innocence in the movie, right? Because when you meet her, you think, maybe there's hope, right? Because she kind of glows, right? Frank Prinzi, Pete, my director of photography, we focused on that. But yeah, she, the scenes with her and Anson where they're the most normal, like at the counter in the diner and in the motel room, I thought they were the toughest for me because they were so simple, but the two of them connected and made it worthwhile.
Also, you mentioned your director of photography. That was my next question about the cinematography, which is, I think it's very crisp, and at the same time you have like the cold look when he go to the house on the woods, and then you have the mystery inside the diner. I don't know, that's something that I got that watching. How was like the approach on the cinematography, that conversation?
It was, well, I'm glad you noticed that, and it's important for us because we did concentrate on that. When Frank Prinzi, who I've known for 30 years, read that script, he said to me that this guy, meaning the Virtuoso, was so haunted, that he never felt that way about reading a script before, and he wanted to try to capture that on screen. And I was like, I never associated that feeling in the word haunted with this character at the beginning. So then we specifically, you'll notice we shot widescreen, so he's usually as far away from possible to anybody in the screen, just to keep him separated and alone. Even when he's with people, he's alone because that's the life he's chosen. So we wanted when the mentor and the Virtuoso are there, it's the cold blue tint of death, really. But when he gets to the diner, there's warmth starting to come in with her character, because I wanted to mislead the audience again, to let them think that there was going to be life, right? Life is coming in. But even that, you know, that diner is kind of lit like, we used No Country for Old Men as kind of a reference for the lighting, because even though it was soft and warm, it's still shadowy, right? So you're still not, it's not a big, bright place.
Yeah.
So that was the approach, and we tried to cover it throughout.
It's amazing. Wow, Nick, so much to talk about it, and I hope everybody's already enjoyed the movie in theaters, and it's gonna be available on Blu-ray and VOD. And I just want to thank you so much for your time, and a pleasure to talk to you. And I cannot wait for your next project. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you too. Bye-bye. Thank
Bye.
you. If you like this video, don't forget to comment, to like, and subscribe to our channel right here.